Hello, children. This time I'm going to start a new poem from our book Beehive, Class 9, that is A Legend of the Northland. This poem is actually written by Phoebe Carey. This poem is a ballad. Ballad is a sort of is a song that narrates a story, and this ballad is in the form of stanzas. So now let us start our poem A Legend of the Northland. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few. It is here the Phoebe Carey is talking about the place somewhere in the Northland near the North Pole, where the duration of the day is very less, and the nights are quite long. Away, away in the Northland, the Phoebe Carey is telling that it's a story of a place called Northland near the North Pole, where the duration of the day or the hours of the day are very less, and the nights are so long in winter, and the nights are quite long that they cannot sleep them through. That the people or the inhabitant of that place are not able to sleep all the hours of the night, because the nights are very long. So more than, you can say, 15-16 hours the night prevails there for nearly 15-16, sometimes 18, sometimes even 20 hours. So people who are the inhabitants of that place, they cannot sleep there for such a long time, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows. Harness use, they use the reindeers, and they tie the reindeers in front of their sledges when it snows. In winter, when it snows, they use the reindeers to move as a means of transport. They tie them in front of their sledge, and the reindeers pull the sledges. And the children look like bear's cubs, bear baby. And the children, why they look like bear babies? Because of their funny and furry clothes. In their furry clothes, they look like babies of bear babies, or you can say bear's cubs they look like. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true. Children, these ballads, these are passed from one generation. The stories which are narrated in these types of ballads, they are passed from one generation to another generation. So that is why it's written here. They tell them a curious story. Children over there, or generation after generation, they are told this curious story, this strange story. I don't believe this true. And Phoebe Carey is not says that this story is not true. I don't believe in this story, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. But Phoebe Carey says, if she tells us a story, this story which is given in the poem, which is narrating in the poem, if she tells us this, at least we will be able to learn a lesson from this. So let's start. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below, when actually it is told that the good people or the gods, saints, they live in heavens. So it's a story of the time when Saint Peter was living on the earth, lived in the world below, and walked about it preaching just as he did, Once Saint Peter, when he was passing his time on the earth, when he came to earth, his actually motive was to preach the people, to spread spiritual awakening in the people. So he was living in this on the earth. He was walking from door to door preaching to the people, just as he did, his main motive was to preach the people, or spiritual awakening of the people. He came to the door of a cottage. Once he was, when traveling from one place to another, he came to the door of a cottage. Cottage is a small hut. In traveling round the earth, when he was traveling around the earth, where a little woman was making cake. When he reached that door, he smelled a woman, or the lady of the house, she was baking cakes. and baking them on the hearth. And she was baking them on the fireplace, or you can say the oven, which was made up of clay. Hearth is actually fireplace. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him single one. As he had not eaten, Saint Peter had not eaten anything. And the whole day was past. He was quite hungry and he was about to faint with hunger. So he requested the lady to give him some of her cakes, not some actually, to give him a single one. He asked for a single cake from the lady. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. So the lady started baking a small cake for Saint Peter, and when she baked it, but as it baking lay, when she kept it for baking, and when it came out, it seemed too big for her to give away. She was not ready to give such a big cake to anyone. When she was baking, while baking, she noticed that it is quite a big cake, and she won't be able to give such a big cake to Saint Peter. Therefore, she needed another. Now she made the dough for another cake, and still a smaller one. This time the dough was quite less. It was small cake, but it looked when it turned over as large as the first had done. But again, when she kept it for baking, she noticed that it was as big as the first one. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough, tiny piece of dough she took, and rolled it and rolled it flat. And then she made, with the rolling pin, she made it flat and baked it thin as a wafer. You know the wafers, the chips you eat? It was so thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. And she was not even ready to give that piece of cake to Saint Peter. And for she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself. What she said? She said that my cakes which I have baked, when I eat them myself, I found them quite small, but are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. And when it's a turn to give it away, they seem too big. So it is very difficult for me to give such a big cake to someone else. Then good Saint Peter grew angry. Saint Peter got angry, for he was hungry and faint. As he was hungry, he had not eaten anything since morning. And surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And such type of lady who does not have a kind heart, generosity, there was no sign of generosity in the lady, that such type of behavior was enough to provoke or to annoy Saint Peter. And he said, you are far too selfish. And what Saint Peter said in reply? He said that you are very selfish, too selfish. Selfish for what? To dwell in human form, to live as a human being, you are very selfish. To have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. You should not have all these things like food, shelter, and fire also. Why he is talking about fire? Because Northland is very cold area. Now you shall build as the birds do. Now Saint Peter said that she is too selfish to live in human form, and she should not have food, shelter, and even fire to keep her warm. Now you shall build as the birds do. Now Saint Peter cursed her, and he told her that she will live like birds. From now onward, she will live the life of a bird. As the birds do, she also has to build her nest or her dwelling place, and shall get your scanty food. Scanty means very less, and you will also get less food. You will not get enough food to have by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. And you have to work really hard to get your food, like a woodpecker does. A woodpecker used to bore in the stem of or the trunk of a tree to get the insects to eat. So same way she also has to live a life of a woodpecker from now onwards, and she has to bore into the trunk of a tree to get her food. Then up she went through the chimney. Now as Saint Peter said these words, she transformed into a bird and went through the chimney of the house, never speaking a word. She was not able to speak even a single word to Saint Peter. And out of the top flew a woodpecker out of the chimney. Which bird she was transformed into? She was transformed into a woodpecker. So out of the chimney of the house, a woodpecker came out, for she was changed to a bird, as she was changed to a bird. She had a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet means red. When Saint Peter came to her cottage, she was wearing a red color cap. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same. Only that cap was left the same. Rest, what happened to rest of her clothes? But all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame, and rest of her clothes were burned black like a coal in the flame of the chimney, in the smoke, or you can say the fireplace, when she went past through the chimney. And every country school boy has seen her in the wood, and every child who goes to school over there has seen her in the jungle, in the woods, where she lives in the trees till this very day, where she is dwelling till the very day, till this day, boring and boring for food, still boring or drilling into the trunks of the tree for her food. So this is all about the poem. Children, it's really very, very, very simple poem. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.